All right, now let's talk Chicago politicians in the year 2025, huh? Sounds like a good idea, right? And hey, let's welcome our new 35th Ward Alderman, who, I got to be honest, seems a lot like our former 35th Ward Alderman, like almost identical. And let's welcome back Chicago's favorite daily political soap opera. That's right, everybody. It's been gone for 2 years, making its return. It's a mayor and his alderman.
A mayor and his alderman. Oh.
Well, the wait is finally over. Mayor Brandon Johnson has announced his new 35th Ward Alderman. It's Cook County Commissioner Anthony Joel Quezada. Did I pronounce that right, Ben?
Good enough.
Quezada. Anthony Joel Quezada. And yes, he is the mayor's pick to fill the vacancy as 35th Ward Alderman. The Chicago City Council will hold a meeting next week on the replacement after the previous alderman, one Carlos Ramirez Rosa. Oh, I remember him. Yeah. I remember Carlos Ramirez Rosa. Yeah. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. Anyway, here's the quote from Mayor Johnson. Quote, "The 35th Ward deserves a progressive champion with a proven track record to lead in this moment. Anthony is a lifelong Chicagoan who embodies the values of the 35th Ward, and I have no doubt that he will be a tremendous advocate for his community. I want to thank the 35th Ward Civic Committee for their recommendation and all of the candidates who answered the call by putting their names forward to serve." He also added, "Your items from the gift room will be sent in the mail." No, did not say. Maybe you should do that, though. That's how you get rid of the stuff in the gift room. You know?
Yeah, give it to Alderman.
Yeah, that'd be nice. The mayor's office said Johnson made the quick pick after feedback from that committee, which recommended him. All right, we have the quote from Anthony Joel Quezada. Quote, "I am honored to receive this appointment to represent the people of the 35th Ward as our next alderman. Our neighborhoods deserve bold, principled leadership, and I am ready to continue building a ward and city that prioritizes working families, strengthens public services, and empowers our neighbors." The special city council meeting is scheduled for Monday, 10:30 a.m. Now, Ben, before we take the deep dive on our new 35th Ward Alderman, Ben, good buddy, good pal, need you to do us all a favor here. And I'm going to admittedly file this question under things that happened after I left and wasn't following the news too closely. Our former 35th Ward Alderman, Carlos Ramirez Rosa. Dude, what the hell happened? And again, I wasn't following too closely, so please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But is it true now that he's just hanging out in the parks?
Yeah, he's hanging out in the parks.
Oh, my God.
Superintendent of the park district. Now you're going to ask, does he know anything about parks? Interesting question. I presume he knows more about parks than, let's say, Linda McMahon knows about education, and she's now running the Department of Education. So, you know, it's a low bar when it comes to having to know things, okay? So I host a podcast, D. I know absolutely nothing about computers. You know, of course, it's a political podcast. I'm not talking about computers. Good point, D. Anyway, Carlos Ramirez Rosa, really smart politician, in my humble opinion, and proud graduate of Whitney Young High School, as you know. And he got in trouble last year, D. We were not doing this show at this stage of our existence. So we would have had a field day with this one. We talked about it a lot on the podcast with other guests. But Ray Colon pretty much set him up. Excuse me, Ray Colon. Oh my God, Raylo set him up. Ray Colon was the man that Carlos beat to be alderman. Set him up and accusing Carlos of manhandling Emma Mitz, an alderwoman from the 37th Ward. And in the fallout, Carlos stepped down as Mayor Johnson's floor leader and as the chair of the zoning committee. And kind of let it be known that he wanted to get out of the city council any way he could. Of course, he kind of wanted to get out of the city council anyway. Remember, he was going to run for lieutenant governor at one point with Andy Biss.
Yeah.
And then another time he did announce he was running for Congress when it looked like Louis Gutierrez before Luis handed it off to Chewy. So I feel he got set up. I've thought about this for a while. I know he could be very brusque in the way he deals with people, and various guests have come on this show and said that he's been, what's the word they use, condescending and patronizing to them. Jeanette Taylor, for instance, is one who came on the show and said that. But I do believe he was set up by Raylo, and I believe they overreacted in that moment. In fact, Emma Mitz said she didn't want Carlos to have to give up her positions. So why did he give up his positions? I do not know. Anyway, it's ancient history, and he's moved on. He got his wish. He's out of the city council, and you're right. The person, Anthony, who's replacing him is like cut from the same cloth politically. It's the most lefty ward, or the most liberal ward in the city, the 35th ward, I would argue. So you got to be on the left to be in that ward. A centrist is not going to make it in that ward. So yeah, you're absolutely right when you say it's sort of like, politically speaking, they're very similar, the old alderman and the new alderman. And I presume Anthony will be a supporter of Brandon Johnson.
It's like obviously. Brandon should be a little flat, or I'm sorry, Carlos should be a little flattered, like Brandon, I mean, he really liked you, dude. I mean, he picked someone who was literally just like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, not only that, Carlos was his floor leader, the head of the zoning committee after the fallout. He pointed him to the park district, got him out of the city council, pointed the guy he wanted to replace him, who was politically cut from the same cloth. So yeah, I would say he likes him. I believe that Anthony will run again and win. I got, how do I say this? I take very serious the mission of the Chicago Park District. And I feel naive saying this. And, I'm a sports guy, D. I coached for many years. And I would like to think that the person who runs the Chicago Park District should come from the community of the parks. Obviously, in this case, he's not. Carlos admitted, or he made a joke about it to the Sun Times, that he started off, he took a boxing class at a park district when he was young and didn't like it and didn't go back. So he's clearly not spent his lifetime in parks and park districts, and this is not something he knows really well. Maybe he's smart. He went to Whitney Young, smart guy. He'll learn fast. So I have no doubt that his capability to do the job. But just the city has such a weird attitude toward its parks. It's when it's not trying to sell them off for development like they did with the Olympics or the proposal with the Bear Stadium. It's to build a Bear Stadium right near Soldier Field. They're just ignoring them. And I know a lot of people that are lifelong park users, really into sports, really into kids' activities, that I could think of. Oh man, this person should be running a park district. Yeah. The heart and soul is into it. And this is what the parks could be. It could really be an instrument for giving kids something to do. I'm hoping Carlos learns on the job and goes in that direction, because I feel we've ignored the parks for so long in this city.
Yeah. I got to say, I've known him for a while, worked with him. I actually produced a radio with him. He was a guest host, and I worked with Carlos. Known him a long time. Never once have I heard him talking about one of those twisty slides or, a teeter-totter, parks, nothing. So
he'd be a hell of a podcaster. And you were the one who told me that. Mm-hmm. Dennis told me that. He goes, Carlos is a natural on the mic. And one day he may be a huge star on podcasting.
Oh, man. I remember when it was time to take callers. And he's like, oh, we have callers? And I'm like, yeah, and quite a few disagree with you. He's like, oh, great. I can't wait. Like, oh, that's good. That's a good host right there.
Yeah. He was subbing for Pat Quinn, wasn't he?
I don't think he was subbing for Pat Quinn.
Oh, I remember Pat Quinn for a while. I
forget the name of the worked with Pat Quinn. Good. Yeah.
Again, it's that radio station. I can't remember the name, but
820. Facts matter. As a matter of fact, you're fired. Get out of here.
Well, what Carlos and Pat Quinn could say something that I can't say. They weren't fired by WCPT, so there they go.
All right. Well, let's move along here. Hey, Anthony Joel Quezada, who the hell are you? Well, first off, he's a commissioner. And according to commissionerquezada.org, he's a lifelong Chicagoan and was raised on Chicago's northwest side in Logan Square. Anthony was elected as commissioner of Cook County's 8th district in 2022, and he proudly represents over 300,000 residents across 9 neighborhoods in the 8th district. Ben, heads up, there will be an 8th district quiz after we learn more about Anthony.
Okay.
Now, Anthony serves on 16 committees and is the vice chair of the Committee of Labor and the Committee of Contract Compliance. As a commissioner on the Board of Commissioners for the Forest Preserves of Cook County, Anthony has been a strong advocate for environmental protections. If you can't tell, yeah, this is obviously ripped from his website. Can't do anything wrong on your own website, by the way. All right. Anthony is a proud product of Chicago Public Schools. And now time for the question every Ben Joravsky show listener is just screaming at their speakers right now. What high school did he go to? I know how you listeners think. Ben, you want to take a guess as to what high school Quezada may have went to?
I should know this because he was a guest on the show, and I asked him. But since you said he has a lot in common, I can't remember what the answer is, but I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess.
Right now, can I tell you right now? It's not Whitney Young, but go ahead.
Whoa, that's.
I want a good guess. I want a good guess now.
Well, that's where I was going.
I know.
It's
not right. So let's get another one.
All right. Did he go to a Catholic school or did he go to a public school? That is the question. That is the challenge.
Can I tell you?
Yeah. Give me public or Catholic.
Public.
Whoa.
Or wait, I don't know.
Oh, that's sad. Ladies and gentlemen, that's sad, man. I'm gonna say he went to Catholic school and I'm gonna say, well, no, okay, you would know if this was this one. So God, I'm gonna say he went to Fenwick.
No, wrong. You are wrong. No, he went to Lane Tech.
Oh, that's a public school, man. Lane Tech.
Okay.
Big Lane Tech on the corner. In fact, oh my God, can I give last night at the Chicago Teachers Union? I already alluded to this once. One of the great delights being there last night at the panel discussion about Karen Lewis was that John Lewis, her husband, was there. I hadn't seen John in a long time. He is just in his own right. Just an outstanding guy. Love that man. And for years, he taught at Lane Tech High School, and he was the coach of the boys basketball team. And he's just a great guy all the way around. And so there were so many Lane Tech people there, and they got up and they paid tribute to him. You know, his legacy lives. John Lewis, I think he wanted to retire in the 90s. I forget, John. I apologize, not remembering when you retired. It could have been in the O. No, it was the O's. I apologize. He was just such a dear friend of Karen Lewis. My God, they were inseparable. Anyway, I was having a strong Lane Tech response last night. Just so many Lane Techies there praising Lewis, John Lewis, and John was there. And then also Jesse Sharkey was there, and Dennis and I and Jesse Sharkey have this connection, and that is the famous moment during the teacher strike of 2019. And I don't know if you have that clip anymore.
I couldn't get the clip.
Where Jesse Sharkey was giving an interview outside of Lane Tech High School about the strike, or I don't know if they were on strike. I think they were on strike at the time. The update on the strike. And as he was giving this interview outside Lane Tech, one truck after another, roaring by on Addison, put the big horn on, because the teachers were out there on strike and they were supporting them. So whenever I think Lane Tech, it all comes back. And I apologize, Anthony, to think that a guy of Chicago roots would go to Fenwick. But for some reason, I thought you went to a Catholic school. So anyway, Lane Tech grad. For all I know, maybe John Lewis was his gym teacher. Who knows?
Shout out to Lane Tech. All right. Oh, and one more little tidbit about Anthony. He's the youngest and first openly gay Latino commissioner to be elected to the Board of Commissioners. So there you go.
He's the youngest. I did not know that.
Yeah. There you go. You know a little more about Anthony.
Yes, so congratulations and good luck, Anthony.
Any thoughts here? How do you think he's going to do as an alderman?
I think he will do outstanding. I think he will win re-election. Well, he hasn't been elected. Again, it's a very leftist district. The Carlos built a strong organization, and he'll be a loyal voter. He's not going to be one of those wishy-washy North Side aldermen, or like
no, be one of those wishy-washies.
Which way's the wind blowing? How's the Tribune going to respond to this? He's not going to worry about the Tribune or Cranes or the Sun-Times. He'll stay with Brandon Johnson. That's
and also, I mean, we got to find out. I mean, now that he's replacing Carlos Ramirez Rosa, does he like the chain smokers? You know what I mean?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that. D, what a memo. All right, we'll close with this one. This Carlos, come on, man. It was maybe Carlos' low point as alderman. So he came on that aforementioned radio show of mine on the station. I can't remember the name. And I was going on one of my rants about millennials because I had heard this story from a friend of mine, or a guy I know from bowling. This guy worked for some company that had deep pockets, and they were having a company party. And at the party were two performers. Okay, this is how rich this company is. One performer I had heard of and knew very well, loved to death, seen in concert several times, know all his songs. One of definitely my top three favorite musicians of all time. And the other was a performer I never even heard of before. And the performer I never heard of before, or the group I never heard of before, was the Chainsmokers. And the performer I loved and still love, and I just saw in concert last October, was Stevie Wonder, who is, I mean, you got Marvin Gaye, you got Stevie Wonder and the Beatles. You could argue millennials, I mean, boomers all day, who was the best of that bunch. Right now I'm kind of going with Stevie. And some dumbass millennial, so sad and pathetic, who is the blind guy? Didn't even know who Stevie Wonder was. And he was cheering the Chainsmokers, and I was outraged. I didn't even know anything about the Chainsmokers. I was like, I never heard of the Chainsmokers. I'm thinking, what group would call itself the Chainsmokers? It's like such a stupid name anyway. So I opined this on the mic to Carlos, and he was like, "Well, Ben, you're sounding like a boomer talking about the new generation, and you really should listen." You know, I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Dude, that's so embarrassing. Come on, man. Even millennials, I don't know any thoughtful millennial who would argue that the Chainsmokers warrant being the same sentence as Stevie Wonder." I think Carlos was a little embarrassed by that, dude. I wouldn't have mentioned it, but Dr. D did. He went there. He brought me back.
Oh, it's good. Carlos, we'd love to have you back on, right, Ben?
We'll do a musical thing. You could talk about your favorite Chainsmoker song, and then I'll come back with a Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah, or you can just tell us how you've been. That's a good start.
There we go. How you been, man? Yes, yeah. That's a great idea. You know what? Let's bring Anthony Quezada on and ask him for his opinion. Chainsmokers or Stevie Wonder?
That's what I'm saying. We got to get that, and then we got to talk to Carlos, and see what's going on. Like, I mean, sorry if I upset you. That's why you haven't been on the show. I left. I'm sorry, but I'm back, Carlos.
Yeah, Dr. D was gone, but he's back. Okay, and he produced you. All right, he made you look good.
We'd love to have Carlos Ramirez Rosa back.
That's correct.
All right, so Anthony Joel Quezada, once again, he's going to be the 35th, our new 35th Ward Alderman. He represents the 8th District. And Ben, there are 9 neighborhoods in the 8th District. And we're going to close this out with a little trivia question here. There are 9 neighborhoods in the 8th District. Ben, can you name all 9? Go.
No. Logan Square. I cannot name all 9. Portage Park, Logan Square, Dunning, Norwood, hold on, I'm in my mind's eye. Belmont Cragen, is that in there?
Yes.
Wow. Does it go as far south? I'm gonna throw Humboldt Park in there. No?
Yes.
Nodding. Oh, Humboldt Park is in there. Okay, they're all over the map. And how many did I name?
5. You named 5.
Okay.
I believe.
I got half. That's it. I'm done, man. I'm exhausted.
We got Logan Square,
Yeah.
Avondale,
man. Avondale.
Humboldt
Okay.
Park,
Humboldt
Irving Park.
Irving Park's not really a neighborhood. Sorry, guys. I mean, it's a neighborhood.
Hermosa,
that's legit. Okay. Yeah.
Belmont Cragen,
name
Portage Park, and Dunning. That's pretty good.
I did pretty good. Not bad. Not bad for an old guy who never leaves his house.
All right. Well, now do it again. Here we go. 9. Go.
1, 2. Oh, I thought you wanted me to count to 9.
Get it. Let's go. Now you can get it.
No, I can't. I forgot every one.
Oh,
Hermosa, Belmont Cragen, Irving Park, Portage Park, Logan School. Damn, this is like a total Alzheimer's test. This is
I know.
This is a total Alzheimer's. First of all, I wasn't paying attention.
You did 5 again.
Yeah, I did 5 different ones.
I know.
Dunning.
It's over. It's over. It's over.
Oh, no, I want to. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is an Alzheimer's test, a dementia test. What you do is they ask you a question and they answer, and then like 10 seconds later, they ask you the same question. Actually, it's usually like 15 minutes later. So.
Oh, and that was the latest episode of A Mayor and His Alderman.
A mayor and his alderman. Oh.
Welcome, Mr. Quezada.
Oh, God. Anyway, here's some nice news to go. The stock market plunged. S&P 500 plunged nearly 6%, and the rout continued.
Man, what about the Dow?
Just reading the it doesn't say there.
Need a tech-heavy NASDAQ.
Ladies, you don't know this, but Dr. D has a portfolio that was worth $10 million when the week began.
Tell me the 10-year treasury yield, please.
And now he's down whatever 6% of 10 million is. Figure it out, people.
All right, everybody. That's our in a week for this week. We thank you all. Hey, can download previous Ben Joravsky shows. Do it. Go for it right now. Ben, what's that website they can download it on?
BenJoravskyShow.com. Come on now. And you get it every single podcast show we got, columns I wrote, book reviews I wrote, pictures, everything is there. And you want to make a donation to the show, you can do it there too.
And I think that really is the key there, because you can't go download columns on Spotify. All right. So go to Ben Joravsky Show, JORAV as in victory, SKY, BenJoravskyShow.com. Go check it out. Not only will you get episodes and previous Ben Joravsky shows, his columns, they haven't gone anywhere. They're right there. BenJoravskyShow.com. Go check it out. Send us an email. BennyJShow@gmail.com. BENNY, the letter J, show@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. You can send us a voicemail if you want. I think there's a way to do that. Actually, I'll get the phone number. I think we still have a phone number for the show.
Phone number somewhere.
I'll have to find that. I'll have to dig through my phone book there and find it. And go send us an email. Reach out to us. Also find us online. Benny J Show, BENNY, the letter J Show, on all social media platforms. Our apologies to Alexi Giannoulias. I know we're going to get that mayoral spotlight on you. Don't worry. Next week, we may have some time. We'll find out.
He may be on that bus. Who knows? He may be on that Durbin bus. You don't know.
God, he's like anything but this Secretary of State. My God.
All right. Very good. That is young Dr. D. Thank you very much. And as we always say, hey, Dr. D, give yourself a raise. Take it out of petty cash. Peace and love, everybody.
So here's what I think. Democrats love to fall in love. Republicans fall in line.